There's a moment many people experience, but almost no one knows how to describe. It doesn't come crashing into your life. It doesn't announce itself with chaos or confrontation. It arrives quietly, almost invisibly. At first, it feels like nothing more than a subtle shift, a pause in your energy, a slight heaviness in your chest, a quiet sense that something is no longer the same. You wake up one morning and your mind feels different, not broken, not overwhelmed, just off. Your heart feels heavy and empty, even though nothing obvious has changed. The person you once looked forward to hearing from now feels like a source of tension. Conversations that once brought you peace now leave you with no energy. And you begin to notice something that's difficult to admit. You are no longer at rest. At first you dismiss it. You tell yourself, this is normal. Every relationship has ups and downs. I just need to be more patient. And patience is a virtue. But there is a line between patience and tolerance of what slowly breaks you. You remember what it used to be like. There was excitement. There was curiosity. There was something that felt real. There was love, or at least the belief that it was something meaningful. You felt understood. You felt connected. You felt like something was unfolding naturally. And that memory becomes powerful, because even when the present begins to change, that memory keeps you attached. You begin to hold on to the past version of them, not who they are now, not how they behave now, but who they were when things felt right. And so you stay, even when your intuition starts to whisper something different. Over time, the change becomes clearer, but still subtle. You begin to notice. Your mood becomes unpredictable. Your thoughts feel repetitive. You replay conversations long after they've ended. There's a growing sense of restlessness that you can't explain. You start to feel drained, even from small interactions. Things that once felt effortless now require effort. Things that once felt natural now feel forced. And yet, you continue. You begin to overlook things you once wouldn't have accepted. Small moments, small behaviors, small signals, words that feel careless, actions that feel reckless, reactions that feel misaligned, but you explain them away. They didn't mean it. They're just stressed. I'm probably overthinking it. And slowly, you begin to betray yourself. Your intuition doesn't go silent. It gets louder, but so does your resistance to it. It tells you, this isn't right. This is draining you. You're not at peace anymore. But you don't want to listen, because listening would require change, and change feels dangerous. There is a fear of change that begins to grow, and that fear convinces you of something that isn't true, that leaving will lead to loss, that detaching will lead to loneliness, that starting over will lead to failure. But Stoicism teaches something that cuts through illusion. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. The fear you feel is not always truth. It is often projection. Fear blocks positive action. It keeps you stuck, not because you can't move, but because you won't. There comes a moment where you can no longer ignore it. The discomfort grows, the tension builds, the silence becomes louder than the conversations. You begin to feel emotional exhaustion, a sense of unhappiness you can't explain, a loss of clarity, a feeling of being unable to cope with day-to-day problems. Your view of the big picture is obscured. You're no longer thinking clearly, you're reacting, adjusting, trying to make sense of something that doesn't make sense anymore. And then something shifts, not dramatically, not all at once, but deeply. You stop trying to fix it, you stop trying to explain it, You stop trying to hold it together, and in that moment, you finally see the truth. Rule 1. Confront reality without illusion. The first rule is simple, but uncomfortable. Confront what is, not what you wish it to be. Most people don't struggle with reality. They struggle with letting go of what they hoped reality would become. You are not attached to the person. You are attached to the version of them you remember, the potential you imagined, the future you believed in. And that attachment creates blindness. It prevents you from seeing clearly. Ask yourself, am I at peace or just attached? Am I respected or just tolerated? Am I fulfilled or slowly being drained? Because once you see clearly, you can no longer pretend everything is fine. This is where healing begins. Not when they change, but when you stop waiting for them to. Rule 2. Release your attachments. The second rule is where most people hesitate. Release your attachments without resistance. Detachment is not rejection, it is awareness. You are not saying they are wrong. You are saying this is no longer right for me. Stoicism reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus. If your emotional state is controlled by someone else, you are not free. When you release attachment, you stop chasing explanations. You stop seeking validation. You stop needing closure. At first, it feels unfamiliar. You may feel sadness, isolation, a quiet sense of emptiness. But that emptiness is not loss. It is space, and in that space, clarity begins to return. Rule 3. Return to yourself. The final rule is where transformation happens. Return to yourself with patience and discipline. After detachment, there is silence, and in that silence, everything you avoided begins to surface. You may feel repressed emotions, doubt, moments where you feel lost. This is not weakness. This is exposure. For the first time, you are not distracted. You are present. And now, you have a choice. You can return to what was familiar, or you can rebuild. You begin to slow down. You begin to rest. You begin to reconsider everything. You examine your patterns. You recognize your tolerance. You see the ways you ignored your own needs. And gradually, you begin to change. You start to protect your energy, trust your instinct, respond instead of react. Your mind becomes clearer, your emotions become steadier, your sense of direction returns, and something powerful happens. You begin to feel inner peace, not because everything around you has changed, but because you have. You are no longer the same person. You no longer over-explain, over-analyze, overextend yourself. Instead, you move with intention, you act with clarity, you protect your peace. You begin to understand something deeply important. You can enjoy everything that happens in your life, but never make your happiness dependent on a person, because attachment creates instability. But self-mastery creates freedom. Detachment is not the absence of love, it is the presence of truth. You are not walking away from something meaningful. You are walking towards something aligned. Because in the end, you don't lose people, you lose illusions. And when those illusions fall away, you finally see clearly. And from that clarity, a new path unfolds. Something better awaits, something stronger beckons, and in that direction, possibility abounds. So release your attachments, trust your intuition, and rise to the occasion. Because the moment you choose yourself is the moment everything begins again. Stronger, calmer, unshaken.